Hey everyone, I'm Wave 3 News Meteorologist Ryan Hoke here for a Friday edition of the Hokey video blog. If you haven't heard about it by now, our first accumulating snow of this season is possible as we head into the weekend and into early portions of next week. We've got two events to talk about. One that doesn't look very significant at all at this point, and then another event that could bring us the accumulating snow. So let's get right to it. We'll show you how things are developing out there right now. Quite a few cumulus clouds across the area, kind of the stratocumulus here you see with these popcorn-shaped clouds on visible satellite view. Still have some snow showers rotating through areas of eastern Kentucky at this point. You may remember this morning, some of us did get some snow showers, a coating of snow, dusting of snow in some places in southern Indiana, especially up toward New Albany. Otherwise, snowflakes are gone for us. We're just left with a few of these clouds around the area. In fact, I'll show you the current SkyTrack camera, and you can see that these are pretty flat cumulus clouds. They've got a little bit of vertical development to them, but not much. So these are definitely your classic stratocumulus clouds. Winds, yeah, they're out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. You can see by the water moving to the south and east on the Ohio River at this point. Otherwise, let's take a look at what's going on up in Canada, because that's going to be key for us the next several days. We've got this upper level low of low pressure spinning around the Hudson Lake there, Hudson Bay I should say, and this is going to help rotate around a few disturbances from Canada into the United States. In fact, you can see one of these waves right here by kind of a crescent shape in the clouds. This will rotate on southeastward as we go throughout the coming days, and there will be another disturbance coming out of Canada as well. And this big upper level low regime is going to help to rotate these on through, and eventually that's what's going to be bringing us our snow chances. Here's how it works out on Futurecast. Here's the first of two systems. By Saturday night, one of these weaker waves moves through, 9 o'clock, seeing some snow showers, maybe a dusting of snow in some spots. I think north of the river, you guys are going to be the ones to see most of this, if any of it at all. South of the river, not so much in the way of snowfall, but certainly some folks could pick up that dusting. Certainly a few snowflakes Saturday night. Will it be causing any problems? I really don't think so at this point. Just keep it in the back of your mind that you could run into a few snowflakes there as you're out and about. Here comes system number 2, the stronger of the two waves moving in. Stop the Futurecast here at 5:30 on Sunday to show that the freezing line, or not necessarily the freezing line here at the surface, but the one that determines rain and snow falling aloft, is centered right about here over Indianapolis. We're squarely in the rain here by 5:30. I do think we will be above freezing by a considerable margin Sunday afternoon, probably into the upper 30s, into the 40s as well in some spots, and this means that the system could start as a little bit of rain. Excuse me. It's worth noting, though, that the models are running about a degree or two above what the real temperature is right now, so there may be some adjustments that need to be made on that determination at this point, but just realize that we could start with a few rain showers as we go throughout 2 o'clock in the morning. On Monday, that line here on Futurecast, this is the 12-kilometer RPM model, sitting right over the city, snowing up in southern Indiana. Some models, including the GFS and the Euro, take the northern edge of that snow and put it more toward down here. Louisville more squarely in the snow with cooler temperatures. I think that may be a better solution at this point. The RPM and the NAM are both outliers as such with this kind of solution right here in southern Indiana for where the snow would be. We'll have to see if that works out. By 5:30, temperatures continue to drop. We're below freezing here in the city, and that's when I think snow will be falling. The Monday morning commute could be troublesome at times. In fact, if those temperatures do get to about 29, 28 degrees, we could have problems on the roadways that'll cause what's called a flash freeze down at 28 degrees. Road temperatures, the surface temperatures of the roads would get below freezing at that point, and snow would begin to accumulate on the roadways. So we'll be watching that for Monday morning. I think by late morning on your Monday, most of this will be east of us, but we could be left with some residual snow showers and snow flurries through the early afternoon. Here's how it works out on the models. This is the GFS model as we go throughout the duration of your Monday. And this is the latest run, the 12Z run. It's pretty bullish with amounts. You probably haven't seen something this high yet from us. 4 inches here. Pretty broad swath, but we're getting to that point where the GFS may be too broad of a model to use at this distance and time out, since we're starting to get closer in time to the actual event. But the placement of the snow band here kind of along and slightly south of the river has been a common one that we've seen as of late. The NAM is the outlier. You'll see how most of the snow is north of the river. The Wolf gets an inch. Seymour, Bedford, Salem, you guys get about 2 inches, or maybe just a little bit more than that. Again, the NAM is not very good at determining snow later on in its run. Right now, we're 60 plus hours out from this event, and the NAM doesn't do very well with those end time events because the NAM can only see out into the North American space. So it doesn't do very good with those far out events because not all the features are within its domain yet, if you will. Kind of some meteorology speak here, but it gives you some reasoning, though, behind what we're seeing. The Euro model has been very consistent, and it's interesting because it's still painting us this 2 to 3 inch amount basically over the river, just south of the river as well during this time frame. Somewhat agreeing with the GFS. The only little hiccup in this run is that it kind of cuts off the snow on the southwestern side. I think it'll be more of a continuous thing through western Kentucky. The RPM model coming in can only see through 9:30 in the morning on Monday, 10 o'clock now. But, I mean, that gives you a pretty good estimate of what it's thinking, and it's not very bullish at all. It is with the NAM, though, and putting that band of snow over our northwestern counties in southern Indiana. It only spits out about 1.25 inches, inch and a half up there, and a lot of us not getting a lot of snow love from this model. So we will continue to watch the runs coming in. I think we'll be putting out a snow forecast map this evening on Wave 3 News at 5. Kevin Harnett and I will be going over some of that data this afternoon that we just showed you, but realize that the NAM model is the outlier at this point. The RPM not really picking up on this too greatly yet. It did not do very well with snow last season either, so something to be taken with a grain of salt. I think that the Euro and the GFS and the new GFS too, which will become the operational GFS in December. It's increased resolution version of the model. It has been pretty consistent with bringing a snowband along and south of the river. At this point, I think amounts in our viewing area 1 to 3 inches, and the Weather Service is going with that. That seems to be the best amount that I can see from some of the data that we've been watching over the last several days. The consistency has been to put the 1 to 3 inch amount. I think 1 to 2 inches will be the common amount, with the 3 inch being the isolated totals that we do see in some places. Now, once this wave moves through, we've got a reinforcing shot of cold air that's going to be coming straight out of Canada. This is going to be the coldest air that we have seen this season so far. Temperatures by Tuesday afternoon likely not getting out of the 20s here in the city. Yeah, upper 20s in the city of Louisville by Tuesday afternoon. With this cold air coming in, we'll be seeing overnight lows in the teens as we go into that time frame as well. This is something we usually see January, February, not necessarily November. It is coming early this year, folks. Usually our measurable snows don't start till early December here, folks. So yes, this is definitely an anomalous event here, and that's why we're treating it very carefully. We're trying not to jump the gun on giving you too much information before we can really give you the most accurate forecast at this point. That's why we've waited until today, kind of to show you some of the finer points of the model data and what we will make as our forecast as we go throughout this evening, tomorrow, and the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, I'll be here Saturday, Sunday morning on Wave 3 News Sunrise. We start at 5 a.m., and so you'll want to tune in for that because I'll be looking at some of the overnight data that's coming in. Of course, the Euro comes in very late at night, so I'll have a fresh pair of eyes looking at that as we go into Saturday and Sunday morning. GFS data will be rolling in as well. I'll be putting together a new snowfall forecast map on each of those mornings as we lead into the event. Again, just to summarize here, looks like Saturday night's event not going to be a big deal. Flurries, snow showers, maybe up to a dusting of accumulation, mainly in southern Indiana. Sunday night to early Monday, we may start out as a few rain showers, switch over to snow, falling temperatures by Monday morning. Monday morning's commute could be problematic as 1 to 3 inches of snow falls across the area. We'll be releasing new snow maps as we go throughout tonight and through the weekend, so stay with us here. We'll be your source for winter weather forecasts as we go throughout the next few days. For now, I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Thanks for watching.